Hello and welcome to another episode of Gig and Tell Podcast. I'm Tash.
I'm Phil.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am good, thank you. So today we thought we'd talk about we went to see McFly versus Busted on what was the date?
Oh, you're
Tuesday.
testing me there. 15th?
Tuesday the 16th, I think.
16th.
Yeah, Tuesday the 16th. It was at Birmingham BP Pulse. And it was very, very good. What were your opinions? What were your thoughts overall? Did you enjoy?
It was good fun. I mean, how do you go to a gig and not have fun?
Mm-hmm.
They're all great. Very different to any other that we've been to before.
Mm-hmm.
I think very different setup.
Yeah.
Very different format to what we are used to.
Yeah, so when we got in there, first of all, they came on really early. I think it was about 8 o'clock, just after 8 o'clock, which obviously normally they wouldn't come on until sort of 9. And then you'd have your support acts before, but none of that was a thing. They played the music very loud beforehand, though.
Yeah, they did. They're like the almost more like warm up songs than like a support act.
Mm-hmm.
And they did 3, didn't they? They had Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
There was something else before the YMCA.
Yeah, I can't remember. But it was interesting because we've never been to a gig like that before, and I'm glad that we found that out because a lot of people, I feel, come a bit later to skip the supports, especially when you're seated and you don't have any sort of rush. If you're not interested in the bands before and you know you're going to have your seat no matter what, then people don't rush to get there. So I'm glad that we knew that before we sort of went into it. Only just before,
Because last time we saw McFly, I don't think we got there until like 10 minutes before they went on stage. It was like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
After, possibly.
Yeah. We just about made it in time.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But it was very interesting, different to how I thought it was going to be. Like, they advertised it a lot, including the merch and stuff and the lead up to it. They really advertised it as this McFly versus Busted, there's only one winner kind of thing. So I thought that they'd do more of like a game with it and do like points and
make
stuff.
It more theatrical.
Make it a thing of this versus thing, but they didn't at all really. Like, McFly came on, they played their set. I don't even think they've really mentioned Busted.
They hardly spoke at all.
Yeah.
Compared to most McFly shows.
Yeah, it was unusual. Because they usually chatty Cathy's, but they barely even mentioned Busted, if at all, and then went off stage, and then Busted came on stage. They did a bit of like trash talk towards McFly, which started with they addressed the fact that James wasn't part of the show. So James has felt ill and was unable to attend our show. Whether he's coming back for future shows or not, I'm not sure at this point. But he wasn't able to make our show, so they started addressing McFly and like trash talking McFly through saying that they wouldn't let a McFly band member fill in for them, which I thought was quite funny. And then they did a little bit of like a battle.
Yeah, they had Matt on one side and Dougie on the other.
Yeah, so
and they kind of had a bit of trash talk.
Each bass player came out into the audience and then stood opposite sides, and they kind of did a bit of my side say this, my side say that, see who's louder kind of thing. But that was the only kind of versus thing that there was, really. Whether that was affected by the fact that James wasn't there, I'm not sure. Whether they had something set up for James and Tom or something.
Yeah.
Because Danny and Charlie also had a segment where they were the only ones on stage. Charlie sang a McFly song and Danny sang a Busted song. So it was like they were embracing each other's songs and they were harmonising and stuff, which was beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it was beautiful. Very, very, very nice on the ears. But it wasn't a battle.
No.
And I really felt like they were going to lean more into that versus.
Yeah, I feel like they missed a bit of a trick there. I'm not sure if it's because they were trying to cram so much in with having 2 acts. You know, having McFly and Busted as 2 headline acts, but considering they came on so much earlier, you'd think that would kind of cancel out and still allow time for the theatrics a bit more.
And it was a full show. Like, I think we left after 10. I don't think it finished before 10. It was like a normal...
Yeah, no, it was
Yeah, a
still
normal
quite
finish,
late.
just an hour earlier starting. So
Yeah.
you would think they'd have had the time to fill it in, but no.
Yeah, it was very different to what I was expecting compared to the McFly and Busted shows that we've seen before. And I am curious what it would have looked like with James there, because I do wonder if some of the arrangements would have been a little bit different in terms of the potentially that kind of acousticy bit that Danny and Charlie did. It was very strange hearing Not Alone without Tom singing.
Yeah.
With Danny, that was so strange. But I do wonder if that was potentially originally supposed to be James.
Okay, interesting.
Singing on that bit, from the fact that Danny and Charlie are both the lower range. So would it have perhaps made more sense to have had James there if that, like, maybe that was what they had originally planned, because their voices would just match those harmonies a bit better. Like, they did great at harmonising, but their vocal ranges are so similar, Danny and Charlie. I do wonder if it was supposed to be James filling in, like, it's Tom does such high bits in Not Alone usually, and that wasn't there. And I believe 3 a.m. is, like, James's song.
Right, okay.
So I do wonder if that was supposed to be James and Danny rather than Charlie and Danny.
Interesting, but do you not think that then they would have just had Charlie and Tom do it and then Danny just not do one?
Perhaps. I don't know. So many questions.
Yeah. I am curious to know what their plan was with it. I'm glad that if it was supposed to be different, that they did it that way around, because I have had many an argument over who is the lead singer of McFly. And if Charlie would have then battled Tom, I would have lost that battle.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they did it that way. But yeah, very different. Thought they'd play on the verses a lot more. But talking about James not being there, when Busted was saying there's no way McFly are going to fill in for James's part, they brought James's brother, Chris, onto stage instead for a few songs. So they did a few songs without him, but a few songs that they really felt were lacking without that extra person, they brought Chris Bourne on for, which was nice, I think, to have someone that was still part of his family coming on for him. I thought that was really sweet. Really enjoyed that. But I feel like he was very nervous.
Yeah, that must have been his first time, as far as I'm aware, playing such a huge crowd.
I'm interested to know whether he's in a band himself, like, because he
Or
could
if he
play
just
and
plays at
everything.
home.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do feel like it made a difference as well that we were seated and we weren't very close. Going into it, we were under the impression that we were going to be on the floor, but seated, but not so. They had seating like most of the floor, and then just the sort of wow pit was standing, wasn't it? And we had the impression that we were going to be on those floor seats, but when we got there, it turns out we did not.
Yeah, that was not what we were expecting, for sure.
So that definitely took a bit of the fun out of it, I think. It seemed a vibe on the floor.
Yeah, definitely. I do think there was a bit more of the battle aspect for those that were close, that were in the wow pit.
Okay.
Just from the like a couple of videos that I have seen. There's a video of Tom and Danny doing one of the guitar solos, and Danny's looking into, like, someone's filming, he's looking into their camera and he's going, Busted can't do this, Busted can't play guitar like this. And, like, he's, like, making comments, and, like, you have to really read his lips, it's quite funny. So I do think they kind of did more of that. But again, I don't know if that was necessarily our night. That could have been since, because I only saw that today. So I think that was actually one of the nights since we went. But I do think either they've got more into it, or it's just that you can't see that kind of stuff from where we were. So I do think, I mean, I said to you when we were there, if we see McFly again in an arena, I don't care how much it costs. I want Wild Pit tickets.
Yeah.
Because there's just... It was a bit different when we were floor-seated last time on the Young Dumb Thrills tour.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the last time we saw them in an arena. And we were on the floor seated. We were also the front row of our section, so we had a lot of room to move around and still have a bit of a dance.
That was a very good seat.
When they came out to the B stage, we were like right next to it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have a B stage this time, obviously, but I don't know, it just wasn't quite as vibey.
Yeah, it wasn't vibey, apart from a couple of people around us, but a lot of people were kind of just sat down, and not many people singing along around us, I didn't feel. And I know that the people behind us left halfway through. They didn't stick around for the full show.
Oh, I can't say I noticed the people behind us.
Don't get me wrong, that didn't affect our time. We still had a great time. Like, we were still vibing. But I did notice that, which always obviously takes it away a little bit from the experience. But I was gutted because I was actually invited to the next night they did Birmingham. And my friend messaged me on the day saying, I know it's really a last minute notice, but my mom now is too ill to come to the show, so if you want, you can come with me to see McFly tonight. And she was in Wild Pit. And unfortunately I was throwing the Summer I Turned Pretty party at my house, so I'd already got plans and couldn't make it, but I almost saw them twice in a row and got Wild Pit, and that would have been my 10th time seeing them as well.
Wow.
It would have been nice to have compared the experiences.
I'm not sure if it was because there was so many people with their phones out. I don't know, it just wasn't what I'm used to with... I'm predominantly talking about McFly here, because I've only ever seen Busted in arenas. But because we see McFly so much, we've seen them so many times.
In smaller venues.
In small venues, yeah. It's always been like Wolverhampton Civic Hall.
O2 Academy.
O2 Academy. And even when we saw them at Warwick Castle, we got really close.
Yeah, we did, to be fair.
And that was completely different, because that was like the hottest day of the year, out in a field. Everyone was just chilling.
Very different vibe. That was such a good show. Yeah.
Like, it was very, very different to what we're used to. But in an arena, it's just completely different, and especially when they didn't have the kind of theatrics that they usually do in an arena.
Yeah.
This is what we've seen them before, and they've had the DeLorean that came down in the middle and stuff. I think that was McBusted, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When they did it together.
And I must say, actually, at the very beginning of the show, before they came on stage, they did like a big recap of Busted and their sort of timeline and like how big they were, and had clips from back when. And then they did the same with McFly and did like a little timeline of like bestsellers and all that kind of thing. And they did like a little video montage, and it literally made me cry. It was so like nostalgic and so well put together. It really made me excited and really in the moment with them, if that makes sense. And it was so good. They'd set it up so brilliantly for that I think that then when they were just performing, and they weren't like, McFly were just performing as if it was a McFly show. Like, the fact that no Busted was mentioned or anything, I'm not sure. I kind of expected them to maybe come on with either of them either side of the stage and sort of battle to some sort of degree to start with, but it was just McFly and then Busted, and then they came together towards the end for a couple of other songs.
Once McFly had come on, I thought, okay, so McFly will do a few songs, Busted will do a few songs, and then they'll come out and do like the battle at the end. That would make the most sense. I thought there'd maybe be some kind of like mash-up, take it in turns thing, where you might have like McFly one side of the stage, Busted the other, and they kind of, and maybe you'd have like, I don't know, an old game or something on the back, and you can see them fighting. Until there's like a KO or something.
They definitely had
or we
so
thought we'd end
much.
on like a draw.
Yeah.
Like, there'd at least be a battle with a result.
Yeah, they definitely had a lot of potential that I feel like they didn't quite tap into. Yeah, I can imagine them being like, do, 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 and then Busted chiming in with, that's what I go to, do, 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 and like having like a little kind of, I don't know, something.
Been more.
Yeah. And I would like to actually correct myself and go back to when we were talking about the battle thing, because Dougie and Matt did come into the crowd and do their little bit. Charlie and Danny did their bit, but they were more harmonising than battling. And then I failed to mention that Harry also had a drum off with, and forgive me, I have no idea who was playing drums for Busted.
Apparently, I've read since, because we weren't there for Busted OG.
No.
Like, we were like 2.
Yeah.
But apparently he's played with them for like over 10 years now.
Oh, that's sweet.
And I know that we would have been like 10 years ago, but he's been drumming with them for a long time, so he's like Busted's drummer without being Busted.
Right, okay.
So he is, like, it made more sense then, because I was a bit like, why are they having a drum off when Busted doesn't even have a drummer?
Okay. Well, I got them doing that, and like that was their kind of battle thing, which was a battle. They did battle it out on the drums.
That
to be
was
fair
the
to them.
most, other than Matt and Dougie shouting across the arena, because they came out in the crowd about halfway back in the seats and up, and had their little battle across the arena. But it was still, I don't know, other than the trash talking before they started playing Hate Your Guts.
Yeah, I like that they played Hate Your Guts as well, because I feel like that was the kind of battle thing for it.
Yeah,
they did that well.
Very well.
They did that well.
Speaking of the McBusted songs,
we had to touch on it at some point, didn't we?
One thing, and you know, you can all feel free to disagree with us. One thing that I found very interesting was their choices, because they were going to play a McBusted song.
Yeah.
They were going to. Hate Your Guts worked so well for the battle. However, I did find that as a choice in the encore, What Happened to Your Band over air guitar is a wild decision to me.
Was that in the encore? Or was it before?
Yeah, because they came out together for the encore.
Yes.
And they did it together. And obviously you have your theory.
Yeah, so I said I think that the reason that they played What Happened to Your Band was because McBusted obviously released that on their album, but Busted also then, when they released, I believe it was on their comeback album, after they'd been apart for many years, they then re-recorded it as Busted and put it on their Busted album as well. So it was on the McBusted album and the Busted album. So my theory is that they probably did that because Charlie was also involved in that song by doing it with Busted. Because obviously Charlie didn't take part in McBusted. I think that it made sense for him to perform something that he was on the track for as well. And that way everyone had been on that track, even if it was on 2 separate tracks. But I think that's probably why they did it over air guitar. But I'm not being funny. You can't do a show where Busted and McFly are together and you don't do air guitar. That was like their biggest song.
Yeah, it's their
My
most
mum was very
track.
upset about that.
It's their most listened to track on Spotify under McBusted. Air guitar is the top track, I think, with about 10 million streams. What Happened to Your Band is down a few, so it's probably like 4th or 5th with like 2 million.
Big difference there, 8 million.
And like I remember looking round the arena when they were playing What Happened to Your Band and thinking no one is singing along to this, or there's very few people I can see, like it's gone very still. And I think a lot more people would have known air guitar, because I think that was exciting for both McFly and Busted fans, because Busted hadn't released any new music in years. Like, that was all they had, and that was the first song that they put out.
Yeah, or even if they'd have done Get Up and Get Over It, what's it called?
Just Get Over It.
Just Get Over It. Even if they'd have done that, I feel like that was also a very popular one. I'd have still questioned the fact they didn't do air guitar, but it's at least one that was more popular. But my only thought process with that is the fact that Charlie hadn't been involved in it.
Yeah.
It's the only explanation I've got. Why else would they not play air guitar?
Yeah.
If anyone has any theories, please feel free to tell me, because I'm baffled as to why they wouldn't play it.
Yeah. Like, if I could ask any member of McFly or Busted one question, it would be, why don't you play air guitar? Because vibe.
Yeah.
Have a party.
Everyone was waiting for it. We thought that's what they'd end on.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They ended on year 3000. If you tell me, that means Busted won.
Yeah.
If you're asking me, if you end on a Busted song, then Busted have done it, haven't they? But
Yeah.
like, yeah, it felt very, very underwhelming with the conclusion of the show. It's not how I expected it to end.
Yeah.
I was still waiting for air guitar.
Because I would have thought it would be like the first encore song. Like
Yeah,
they'd come back out
maybe.
together and do that. Because they did all of the last songs together, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I'd have thought that they'd have come out and done air guitar together first. Like after they'd done What Happened to Your Band, I was like, okay, I don't think they're going to do another. There's too many McFly and Busted songs still to get through for them to do another McBusted. But yeah, I think What Happened to Your Band over air guitar was not the choice I would have made personally.
No, and I think that a lot of people would agree with us on that. I'm interested to try and look at what other people think, because I haven't actually seen anything of anyone else posting, so it would be interesting to see. But speaking of, they had a lot of things to fit in. Another thing that I was really surprised by was the fact McFly played in their first set, when they first came on, they played quite a few of their newer songs. For example, they played Red, they played Happiness. What else did they play?
Where Did All the Guitars
Where
Go?
Did All the Guitars Go? They played a few of their newer tracks from their newer albums. When Busted came out, they only played their old stuff, which I have like no problem with. I knew them all. There was only one Busted song that I didn't know. Everything else I knew anyway, so I didn't have a problem with it. But I did find it interesting that if McFly are going to play new ones, that Busted didn't at all. Like, nothing off any of their newer released albums other than What Happened to Your Band.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. And I like a lot of their new stuff as well. They've released 2 or 3 albums since they've come back. And I am surprised.
I think McFly were trying to make sure that they played something from each album. Because Happiness was the only one that they played from Young Dumb Thrills.
Yeah.
Where Did All the Guitars Go was the only one they played from Power to Play. Red was from the Lost Songs.
Oh.
So I think they were making sure to play something from each album. Personally, could be wrong. It took me a minute to even realise what Red was. I don't know why. I just was hearing the music but not connecting what the hell the song was.
That was funny. Yeah, they've released Night Driver, which I thought they'd have played something from there. They have got so many tunes on this album, and I know that you don't know. You didn't listen to these really, did you? But they have got some bops on that album. And Halfway There. Oh, and Good One, that was a great song.
Good
I know
One
it
was
an
a
EP,
great song. That's one of the few newer Busted songs that I have listened to.
So yeah, I was just a bit surprised that McFly played a few new ones and then Busted didn't play any.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy the set, no less.
Yeah, no, it was still good fun. We
Nonetheless.
had a good dance. A good sing-along. We knew most of the songs played.
Yeah.
I think there were quite a few Busted that I like only knew the chorus.
They also did like a little mashup, didn't they? So they didn't do the whole of Britney, but they played part of Britney.
Yeah, McFly did it just with 2 songs that they didn't play all the way through. Or was it like they didn't play Transylvania all the way through, they went into the next song halfway through it? But they didn't necessarily do like a mashup. So
No, they didn't. But Busted went from like Britney into like Dawson's Geek or something. They definitely didn't finish both of them. Everything I Knew I really like, but they didn't play that.
They did.
Did they?
Yeah.
I don't remember them playing that.
Because I only know the chorus. And I remember getting
Yes,
to the
they
verses
did.
and being like,
Let's go back, let's rewind. Yeah, they did actually. Without You?
They didn't do Without You.
Air Hostess, Crash the Wedding, they definitely did. Who's David? Did they do She Wants to Be Me?
No.
Oh my god. I'm surprised by that. It's one that I definitely feel like they should have done.
Yeah, I think it's so tough, and I think that's why there wasn't so much like battle stuff like we were expecting. Is just they had so much to get through. They've got so many. Imagine trying to narrow down that set list even more to be able to fit in some more theatrical stuff.
There's one they played that I didn't know, and I couldn't tell you what the title was.
No. Okay.
No. I didn't sing any of it. I didn't know at all. But nevertheless, they did play Meet You There, and that is one of my favourites, so I'm happy about that.
I feel like I've forgotten most of Busted's set.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Look at us, it's only been like 6 days. And
I know. McFly is like so easy because I could guess it.
Yeah.
Like, I know what they're going to play. I've seen them so many times. It was nice to hear them do The Heart Never Lies again.
Yeah, they didn't play that the last time we saw them, and I was gutted, honestly.
No, and the time before that they played it, but they didn't sing the McFly's Here Forever bit, and we were like, what's going on?
Yeah,
Why aren't they singing
I was
that
like
bit?
theorising after that.
Yeah, we were like, this is it. We're not going to see McFly again.
Yeah.
McFly's not here forever.
Yeah. Conspiracy theories left, right and centre.
Yeah, it was a moment, that was.
Definitely. But overall, it was a good show. I just feel like they had a lot more potential to play with the versus battle some more, and I am just beyond confused as to why they didn't play air guitar.
Yeah.
So my overall roundup is that.
It was a brilliant show, and I really enjoyed watching the different graphics and stuff they had on in the background. There were some quite fun ones. I realised I'd accidentally gone as Team Busted, completely unintentionally. I kind of was in a bit of a rush and just grabbed the first T-shirt I saw that wasn't a band shirt, because it feels wrong wearing a different band shirt to the band I'm going to see. Like, I'm not going to rock up to like McFly versus Busted in an as it is shirt. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's just me. So I just grabbed the first T-shirt that I saw that was just not a band shirt. And then when Busted started playing Loser Kid, I realised I was wearing a T-shirt that said Loser on it. And I was like,
yeah,
I accidentally came as Team Busted. Because it was when they had like Loser Kid in the writing on the screen, it was the same font as well. And I was like, oh.
And can we take a moment, please, for Dougie Pointer in dungarees with no T-shirt on? Because it is my favourite thing in the world. I love
the day
it.
he stops doing that is the day everyone walks out of the show, probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone is just there for the dungarees.
Dungaree Doug.
Dungarees. So, going back to the topic of the difference in seeing them in an arena compared to small venues, I think something else that probably didn't help us not feeling the atmosphere very much at the back of that arena was the fact that the night before we were actually in Camden in London to see a different band.
At the Electric Ballroom.
A much smaller venue. A much smaller venue to be People's. And we went to see a band called Knox.
Is he classed as a band or an artist?
I still don't know.
Because his name on Instagram is Knox Morris. So is he Knox? Like he's Knox?
I think he is Knox, because when he came out he didn't say we are Knox, he said I am Knox.
Yeah. So we're thinking he's an artist.
And all of the videos are him.
Yeah.
Not a band. I think they're possibly just like his band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The same way that Brad Simpson has his musicians. Band. Like, but it's him. He's the artist. They're his band. But yeah, that was an incredible show. It
was so good, and there's something about being at an intimate gig that not many people know the artist, because it was his first time in the UK, first of all.
Yeah.
At least performing. And it was only a small European tour that he's done, but he smashed it. He smashed it. The room was full. The room was buzzing. Everyone knew every word. They did a mixture of old and the new. So he has a new album which he was touring, but I was worried that he was only going to play that album, but he didn't. He played songs from before as well. And he just knew how to get the crowd going. He was really fun. He seemed like a really genuine, down-to-earth kind of guy.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. 10 out of 10.
He was 100% there because it's what he enjoys doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 100% he was there because he wanted to be, not for money or fame. He is there, and he is playing his music because that is what he really loves doing, and that is so clear in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually found that because he didn't just do that album. That there was ones that I missed that I was like, oh, he didn't play like Happy Ever After All, or A Heart Still Breaks the Same. And there was a few that I was like, oh, I would have liked to have had that, but so grateful for the ones we did hear. Absolute vibe.
Yeah, definitely. And the older ones that he did play, like, I was really worried about whether he was going to play Sneakers or not. And don't know whether that's silly of me, but I was really concerned that he might not.
Yeah, from what was being said between him and Will Linley, it seems like Sneakers was always going to be played.
Yeah, definitely.
It seems like that's the song that most people discovered first. That was their first Knox songs for a lot of people.
It was definitely mine.
Do you know, I can't remember if there was necessarily a specific one. I remember you and Adam both separately, never mentioned them to each other, had told me to listen to Knox.
I think that he really started going viral around TikTok, around the same time.
Yeah.
Around that time, sorry.
So I can't remember if it was Sneakers, Love Letter, not the 1975. They were all out, and I can't remember. It might have been Love Letters was the first one.
Love Letter was really, that was one of the first ones.
I was also a bit gutted to not hear Girl on the Internet.
Oh yeah, I
do
love
love
Girl on the Internet. I prefer that to Dumpster Fire, actually.
He's got so every song that guy puts out.
Absolute tune.
Just slaps.
I really love Porch Lights. I don't know if you've listened to that one.
I am aware of Porch Lights.
I love Porch Lights. I really wanted that one. But overall, a great set list. And he had, like we've already just mentioned briefly, Will Linley, supporting him, who they had a joke about because they look very similar, but was really, really good. And he was so funny. Did we establish he was from South Africa?
Yeah.
And he's, like, the way that he spoke, like his slang, and it was just so entertaining to watch. He was such an entertaining person.
He was very charming.
Yeah.
Is probably how I would describe it. He was very, very charming. I did already know the one song, the one that everyone knows. So really enjoyed seeing Last Call. I didn't know who the other guy was. I think he did a really good job.
Yeah.
He was a very similar vibe to Will Linley, I think. But the other guy was Struan.
Okay.
Who supported him. I think he was also very good. I think they all kind of kept the vibe going.
Same. Oh my god. Same similar scene is what I was going for, but that's not really what came out.
No, I think you were trying to pronounce the scene.
Yeah. Anyway, proceed.
So yeah, like 3 great acts, one after another. Yeah, just absolutely incredible vibe, incredible. I want to say chemistry, even though they weren't on stage together, they still had like a chemistry that followed between each one on stage. And if you want to address the elephant in the room regarding the Knox show, when he came back out for the encore.
Oh my goodness.
I will leave that to you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, one of Knox's biggest songs, if you haven't heard of him, is a song called Not the 1975. And he has loads of, like, not cameos, but, like, nods to 1975 songs, like he says about Chocolate and Caroline and stuff in the song. And so, when he came back out for the encore, we all expected him to play Not the 1975. He was in his change of outfit, so he looked like they were putting on the part for the 1975.
And he had his
band. White shirt. Yeah, the whole band. White shirts, black ties. He had a bottle in his hand, like Matty Healy. And instead of Not the 1975, they then started playing Robbers by the 1975. And when I tell you I lost my shit, I truly lost my shit. I can't believe out of all the 1975 songs that he could have played, he played Robbers, which is like my favourite of all time. I couldn't believe it. Honestly, I'm baffled to this day. And he did such a good cover of it. Not that you'd have even known I'd heard it through my screaming. But he did such a good cover of it. He absolutely smashed it. And it was very unexpected. It broke my heart, made me cry. Very good. Very good indeed.
Yeah, I got the tissues out, didn't I?
Yeah.
Kind of just started
It was just so
dabbing.
unexpected, and the whole show had been so incredible. Like, to just have that then felt amazing. And then he followed that with Not the 1975, which was an absolute bop, and then everywhere just went off, didn't it?
Yeah, incredible.
Also, may I say, they also at the very start of the show had paper planes, because in the on the album cover he's like throwing a paper plane, and they threw like paper planes into the crowd. Which I
Yeah,
thought
because
was
they
really
sang it at Is it a bird? Is it a plane? And then they
through the paper
Yeah.
aeroplanes, which I thought was a really cool little thing to do as a small band that didn't have much stage production at all. Like I think they were trying to incorporate something, which I thought was a really good idea.
Yeah,
I
it was a
enjoyed that.
nice little touch, wasn't it? That it was very nice.
I just remember it hitting our friend and her being like, "The just hit me."
what on earth was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so fun. The atmosphere was just, I want to say electric, but that feels a little too on the nose. For the Electric Ballroom.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like incredible. I'm such a fan of small shows, intimate shows.
And he was a bucket list artist for me.
Yeah, that's someone we've been waiting to come to the UK for.
It's someone
a
that's
long
so small
time.
that when we wanted him to come to the UK, we were messaging him on his live streams being like, please come to the UK, and he was replying like, I would love to, but we like can't afford it at the minute, we're not big enough to do that. And he was like literally like replying to us for it, and there was only like 100 people on his live stream, like, or if that, to be honest. I don't even know if there was that many people on it. So for him to have now grown so much and like been noticed for this album just feels like amazing. What an achievement. I'm very happy for him, very proud of him.
Yeah.
And it means that we got to see him. So I'm just over the moon. Honestly, that is a night that will stay with me.
Yeah, it was so good. Yeah, I couldn't believe when he was saying, Sneakers was huge, Not the 1975 was huge, and his management was saying we need another Not the 1975. And he was like, I've got this one song, and I was like, this is it. This is going to be even bigger than Not the 1975. It's going to be so big, it's going to go viral, this is the one. And then it just didn't.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't understand why. And honestly, I thought the same thing.
Which one was that?
Because when I first heard Pick Your Poison.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that one reminds me of you now because of how much you loved that when it first came out.
That song was on constantly in my car, on repeat. Such a tune. Like, as if I'd had a bit of a crap day, it was like, get home, put that on, and just like, everything was good again, you know?
Yeah.
It's such a good song. If you haven't listened to it, listen to Pick Your Poison by Knox.
If you just want feel good, upbeat, like pop punky vibes.
And a dancey.
And a something to dance to, honestly, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's, honestly, I'd say it's probably more like indie pop.
Yeah.
But such a tune. Absolutely incredible vibes. And I don't know how it didn't absolutely pop off, because it's honestly a tune.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that song. It's incredible.
It is a banger, absolutely. 10 out of 10 show. Would recommend going to see him if you get the opportunity. I can't remember how much his tickets were.
They weren't a lot. It wasn't an expensive. I'd say it was somewhere around the 20-25 mark.
Yeah.
100% worth it. Even with hotels, trains, travel, meals out in London.
Yeah.
Even with all of that, I wouldn't have traded that experience.
No.
For anything. It was impeccable.
We had quite a smooth journey. I honestly quite enjoy travelling for a show. I think it adds to like the experience, and even if it is chaotic, we just laugh through it. Like, we missed the first train on the way there, and we just went, okay, sure, we'll get the next one. And it's just about embracing the moment while you're there and not stressing too much about it. I just really enjoy the experience of travelling to see music.
Yeah, I think it especially adds so much to it because our local is Birmingham.
Yeah.
I would say no hate to Birmingham, but, you know, it's the one we go to the most. It's local. You don't have to pay to stay over anywhere. We're home
I'm so
in an hour.
grateful we've got many venues as well. It's not like there's one venue. Like, there's a couple of big ones and a lot of small ones.
There's a huge range. But the vibes are not the same. You know, we came out of Knox in Camden, and there was someone playing more Knox outside, and you felt like you could just kind of stay and hang around and have a bit of a dance.
And the streets felt alive, like there was food stalls and music coming out of different places and bars and stuff.
To say it was a Monday night.
Yeah.
There was so much open.
Yeah. You just wouldn't get that kind of vibe in Birmingham. You get out and you think, get to the train.
Yeah, I'm getting
like
out of here.
Yeah.
There's no way you're hanging around the streets outside any of the venues. No. It's just get back as quickly and safely as possible.
Definitely.
And the venues as well, that, like, you know, as soon as a show finishes in Birmingham, they're like, get out. Whereas, like, we've been to shows in, like, Manchester, and they'll have music playing after and everyone stays for a bit of a dance.
Yeah.
For a song or two.
And like a debrief, and we'll film a couple of TikToks and everything's okay. But yeah, the Birmingham show, it's like you've got to be on a mission to get out because they're off on one.
Yeah, they got absolutely mental until they've got it empty, and I get it. We've worked in a venue, not a big one, but I've worked in a venue, and, you know, by the time when it closes, you are like, will everyone get out so we can clean up, please?
I want to go home.
Yeah, like, we're still here for another hour afterwards cleaning up.
Yeah.
Please get out. So I kind of get it, but yeah, elite vibes travelling, because the other cities are so different.
But I think that because this was our first time seeing Knox and it was so good, it was a small like a small intimate show. We were quite close. It was really light-hearted, just felt really like free-spirited is how that gig felt, like just really lovely. Like, it was such a good experience, and we'd made all the effort to go down there and stuff, and like, yeah, it was just hotel vibes as well. You can't beat hotel vibes, and it was just nice, like, being down there. That then when we came back and we were tired and we'd been travelling all day back from London, and then got back unpacked, had to just shower and get really ready to go out to another concert. I think that then we got there and we weren't in the seats we thought we were going to be. I just think then, even though we did have a great time, it was like, it did take the shine away from it a little bit because of how good the previous night had been. Definitely. And therefore the repercussions of the day after. But it was still a very good gig for McFly versus Busted, but I do think that we'd have enjoyed it more if it would have been on its own, separate from Knox.
I think there's also the aspect of Knox was such a different show with the crowd, not only because of the size of the venue, but the fact that it's his first time in the UK. So most likely no one in that room has seen him play before, unless, I think the Manchester shows were before London. So unless they'd gone to both. A lot of those people probably hadn't seen him play before, whereas most people in that arena have probably seen McFly or Busted or both multiple times, compared to some people being so excited about this artist that's not toured the UK before. And to be honest, if you're listening to an artist that small, you probably know all of their tracks.
But then there is something so nostalgic about then going to a show of someone that you've listened to for years and years and years and years.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a different connection.
McFly are insane, such a tight band, incredible performers. I feel like I'm not going to comment too much on Busted's performance, because they clearly have a lot to figure out with how last minute James dropped out because of being ill. Because I think there were a couple of bits where they maybe missed lines. Yeah. Where they forgot who was supposed to be covering James. I don't know. Or if they were just leaving it because they didn't want to, because it didn't feel right singing it. I don't know.
Though it did feel like there was something missing through parts of the Busted set. But whether they've improved that since the first show, because it was very last minute that James dropped out, I'm not sure. But I mean, they still had the energy and they still sounded incredible with what they were doing. It just did have something missing with James, I think.
Definitely.
Especially because Chris didn't fill in for all of the songs.
It
was only about 3, I think. Yeah. So
yeah, very different.
Very different, but overall a very, very good week for music.
Yeah, lots of shows seen this week.
A very good week. And speaking of a very good week, next week we also have a very good week coming up.
Yeah.
So we're going to see As It Is together on Wednesday, which I'm very much looking forward to. It's their first sort of tour back since they broke up.
Yeah.
Besides the Slam Dunk sets. Did they play any other festivals this year? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't. Not that I remember seeing, but that doesn't mean that they didn't.
Yeah. So we've got As It Is coming up, and also I'm going to see a band called Pierce the Veil next Saturday as well. So I've got a couple coming up next week, which is very exciting also.
And you've got a couple of exciting supports for that one as well.
Yes. Megan wants to see the one and I want to see the other. So I am very, very, very interested in a band called Hot Mulligan who are supporting Pierce the Veil, and I am very excited for it.
And I think, is the other one like Cave Town?
Yes, I think it might be,
Yeah.
because I think that's who Meg's excited to see. Yeah, really looking forward to that show. We saw Hot Mulligan when we went to Slam Dunk earlier this year, and they were really good. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And it's been years since I've seen Pierce the Veil, like years and years and years. I saw them when I was 14, so it's been about 11 years.
And hopefully soon we'll start getting the Slam Dunk announcements.
Yeah.
For next year.
To get tickets for that, for sure. Definitely. So exciting things coming up, but thus far, very good. Start back to our concert.
Back into gig season.
Back into gig season, yeah. Back into gig season. It's kick-started off really well. So onwards and upwards.
There we go.
Absolutely. Right, I think that's just about covers everything that we wanted to for this episode, doesn't it? Unless you
Yeah.
have anything to add.
No.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. In which case, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you again next week with a new episode.
Perfect.
Bye.
Bye.